It's time to talk about dress number 2 and dress number 3 of Battle of the Shirt Dress. Yes, I know I've been leaving you guys hanging, but not for long. It's here, and we're going to talk about it. So if that's some content you would like to see, please continue to watch.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video I'm gonna share with you a pattern review, but the pattern review is really for this dress number 3 that I have on right now. Dress number 2, I'm not gonna really have a pattern review for you because I have already done the pattern review for it. So I'll talk a little bit about that dress, which is this dress right here, the green dress, but really this pattern review is for the dress that I have on, all right? But if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, Ciao, Guten, Aloha, Hola, Konnichiwa, Gwaan, Sambadani, Salon, Bonjour, Tarve. If you're returning, you guys know what to do. Go get you a quick snack, something to drink, come on back so we could go ahead and get into this video. So without further ado, and not to make this long, let's go ahead and get right on into it. All right, so let's start with the green dress first because it's not much to talk about because I actually have a complete sew along and a pattern review to this lovely pattern right here, which is Butterick 6890. I'm gonna drop the sew along and the pattern review in the description box below as well as on the end screen. So basically I'm gonna put it up on the screen as well. So if you remember when I did the jumpsuit, really, I did not have the buttons on, so that's why I didn't do 2 for the price of 1 in that video. I just left it as the jumpsuit. But this is the dress on that pattern, which is Butterick 6890. All the steps are the same in terms of what I did. The only difference that I did was use the skirt and had to add elastic at the waist instead of the jumpsuit. But other than that, it's the same. I like it. I have some likes and dislikes about this pattern, to be honest with you. For this dress, a couple of things that I like is I use some trim from when I made Kishi B's pattern. I think that was Nomi 2020. I had some leftover fabric, so I just used that for trim around the armhole. And I did the trim before I attached the side seams, and the reason why I did that is because I found it easier to put the bias tape around the armhole. You guys know I'm not a bias tape girl, but I have had to do bias tape around the armholes on 3 different occasions in the last 2 weeks, okay? So I'm still not a bias girl, bias tape girl, but I ran out of fabric, so we had to do what we had to do, right? And use bias tape. So I did that for that. I didn't do anything else other than the only thing that I do not like, I'm gonna go back in, but right at the waist line, and I'm gonna show you the, put pictures up as well, but right at the waistline, I'm gonna go in and add a snap. Now, when you're seeing this, I have added a snap right there because it is a little gap, which is why I belted this dress again and wore a hat and all that good stuff, because it is a little gap. So either a buttonhole needs to be there or a snap is my recommendation for you, or move your buttonholes in a different spot because you will have a little bit of gaping or gap. I should just say not gaping, but gap there if you do not adjust your buttonholes. I did not adjust my buttonholes. I basically just marked according to the buttonhole guide, and it left me like a little gap, and I don't like that. So I went in and added a snap there, and it's fine. Perfect. I love the color. I love the color. Once I do the roundup, I'll tell you how all the colors play into one another. You'll be able to see that as you see all the shirt dresses. So yeah, that's that dress right here, which is Butterick 6890. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the dress that I have on, or the tunic that I have on, which the pattern number is New Look 640. Excuse me. Let's start over. So the pattern that I have on is New Look 6470. So let's go ahead and get into this pattern. So first, let's talk about the pattern description. Now, I'm going to give my own because this pattern is pretty much out of print. You cannot find it on simplicity.com. So for the pattern description for this pattern, this is a button front dress or tunic in 2 different lengths, okay? So view A, you have a collar, you have sleeves, you have shaped hem. All of the views come with a slit if you want that slit. But you can definitely just sew up the side seams as well. Each view also comes with 9 buttons for each view as well, except for view A, you're going to need 13 half-inch buttons. View B, you're going to need 15 half-inch buttons. And then view C and D, you need 9 half-inch buttons. Now, if you are doing view C or view D, you will need some bias tape. Now, I made my own bias tape, like this one. I'm pointing to this dress, but I made bias tape on this one, but I also made bias tape on this one, and I just used, once again, scrap fabric from my stash. So the scrap fabric is from when I did Disney African Princess collection back in 2021. The pattern was McCall 7627, and that's when I did the Cinderella top. I'll put it up on the screen so you're able to see that, and that pattern is out of print as well. I love it. I still wear the top, to be honest with you, from time to time. Not as much because it does have an open V and I would have to sew up a little bit in order to wear it to work. But that is the pattern description for this pattern. One thing I will mention about this tunic slash button down dress, I love the slits. If you are going to wear it as a dress, I would say to stitch down a little bit further because I was going to take more photos. But we're not going to have underwear showing and too much of the bootay showing. So with that being said, if you are making this tunic, make sure you stitch down a little bit further than where they have you stop at the dots that's on the side to make that slit. All right, finish off the slit. Another thing I will mention about this pattern is this is a wardrobe staple pattern, okay? You can wear it as a tunic, you can wear it as a dress, you can add sleeve, you can remove sleeve, you can have bias tape and no sleeveless. You could do so many things with this. Now, this one, I love the fact that you can color block it. So I just used white, which if you guys don't remember, the white is from the Paris collection. When I did the Paris collection back in July, a collaboration with my girl Sarah from Learning So Much. That's what this fabric is for. This fabric is from the white jacket that I did that was Simplicity 8558. I just used the rest of the fabric for the top and then just used some solid blue fabric, which it's just a bright blue for the bottom for the contrast. So I love it. I love this pattern. I didn't think that I was going to love it because it looks super long on my dress form, but I actually love it. All right. And I hope you do too. Let's go ahead and get into notion. So I did kind of already told you about the notion. So for this pattern, you're just going to need 9 half-inch buttons. All right. Let's talk about the skill level. So the skill level for this pattern, so this pattern came out a while ago. I don't think that it's a skill level, but if I have to rate this pattern, I would say this is an intermediate pattern or an average to sew pattern because you have to do buttonholes, you have to do buttons, you have to put on bias tape, so you have to be able to make slits and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to rate this pattern as a average pattern. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about fabric. So in terms of fabric, I kind of already mentioned that, but both of these are cotton fabric from my stash. It was just scrap fabric that I used. Now, the original colors that I wanted to do for this, I cut the front piece and noticed that I didn't have enough to cut the other front piece. So I had right sides together and I was cutting through dead air. Okay, so I was a little upset about it. But yeah, when you don't have shoulder seams and you just have a body, you can't do nothing with that. So I had to scratch that, but I was gonna do a red for the top, like a bright red for the top and blue for the bottom, but then scratch that. Then I went to a yellow and red, like a yellow and a maroon at the bottom. Didn't have enough yellow, so I had to scratch that. So here we are, and I think it must have worked out perfectly for a white and blue, kind of like what the motto has on. I don't know. I didn't mean to do that, but it happened that way. All right, let's go ahead and get into pattern pieces. So in terms of pattern pieces, I use 8 pattern pieces. So all the ones that you need for view D, that's the view that I did on the pattern, the yoke, the neckband, the collar, sleeve, continuous lap. I didn't use the continuous lap because I did not do the sleeves. Originally, I was supposed to do the sleeves, but I did not. So I did not use the continuous lap. I did use the buttonhole guide, which is pattern piece number 10. And then, of course, you need the front and the back pattern piece, skirt front, and skirt back as well. So that's a total of 8 pattern pieces you will need in order to construct this tunic. Let's talk about pattern sizing. So in terms of sizing, everyone knows that New Look comes out with like 1 pattern size. So for this one, the size range is 8 to 20. And the size that I cut, I believe it was a size 18. I think it was a size 18. Yes, it was a size 18. Now, of course, you guys know I had to grade it up at the hips in order for it to fit. You wouldn't think so because it goes away from the body with the slits. But yes, in order to get into it, my hips fit into this, I had to size up at the hips. So basically, I cut a size 18, but you might as well say that I graded up to a 20 at the hips, if that makes sense. All right, let's talk about modifications. Did I make any modifications? Nope. I did not make any modifications because I knew I was going to have the slits on the side and there was no need to make any modifications to this pattern. All right, let's talk about, did it look like the photos or the drawings on the pattern envelope? Yes, it does. If I do say so myself, it looked exactly like the pattern envelope, and I am super excited to have done this dress for New Look. I know a lot of you thought that I was going to pick New Look 6449, and I did not. I actually picked a older pattern, and it's not, to be honest with you, there's not a lot of patterns in the New Look and the Butterick patterns that you can select. So going into the next season, because this will be coming back in the spring, and I already have a theme picked out. I mean, hey, we're going to have to come up with something. All right. I'm not going to tell you what I already came up with, but we're going to have to come up with something for these Butterick and New Look patterns where you don't have a lot of options. Okay. You have options, but most of the patterns are out of print. Okay. So we trying to keep the new coming or whatever. But yeah, this one I had to use an out of print pattern. You can still get this pattern. I did actually see this in my Joann's. But you can also get this pattern on eBay, Etsy, or Amazon. So once again, that pattern number, just to give you that, New Look 6470. All right, let's talk about likes and dislikes. I have no dislikes whatsoever. It's all likes, no dislikes, all likes. Now, I can see, speaking of, would I sew it again? Let's get into that first. Would I sew this pattern again? Yes, absolutely. For me, I plan on sewing this dress or tunic again. I want to do just the top version with sleeves and then do it again with the sleeves, the tabs, and a slit at the side. So I probably will do this pattern again twice, not to do it as kind of like a pattern review or anything like that, just to sew it for work purposes, because y'all know I wear a lot of button down shirts, not every day to work. I'm not like a button down shirt queen or anything. I know somebody who is, Karen. She is the button down shirt queen, button down shirts, shirt dresses, you name it. I'll put her handle up on the screen as well as in the description box below. She is like queen of shirt dresses and button down shirts. You need to follow her if you're not doing so already. All right. So anyway, first time experiences, there's none whatsoever. I have done everything for that you need to do in this pattern before. So there's no first time experience. Would I recommend this pattern to other? Absolutely. I feel that this one, like I mentioned, is a staple for your wardrobe. I mean, if you do it in any serious colors, you could wear it on vacation. You like literally, I could wear this to work as long as I wear jeans, of course. I could wear it to work and there's no issues, no problems. Dress it up with heels, dress it down with tennis shoes. I didn't have time to run in and out of the house and pair it a different way. So I just paired it with some white heels. And I thought that it, fit the bill for what I needed to do for only a 10-minute photo shoot before work. All right. So that's it in terms of, this pattern review. That's it for this pattern review. I hope you enjoyed. And since you made it this far, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe button. Also, smash that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Joann's pattern style before I get out of here. Now, I did post this, and I'm going to correct all of them and post it up on the screen for you. Joann's, this is the second week in a row that the pattern style from the style ad is incorrect. So at my Joann's, and I'm not sure what your Joann's is, so I'm just going to tell you what I have been seeing at my Joann's, and some of the other ladies confirmed that Simplicity, New Look, Butterick, and Vogue, they are all on sale. Simplicity, New Look, and Butterick are all $1.99. Vogue sale is $5.99. So that's at my local Joann's. I'm going to put up the flyer because I have confirmed with myself that that is the actual pattern sale this week. All right. It ends Monday. That would be October the 9th. If you are viewing this on a Tuesday, it's already done. If you are viewing this Monday, you still have time while the sale is still going on. All right. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep sewing.